Hey, what's going on, movie lovers? I'm Jeff.
I'm Kyle.
Almost forgot who I was for a minute. And we are Shut Up, I Like This podcast where we talk about how much we like film and we don't hate movies. We enjoy sitting down and watching stuff.
We do. We're also really big Jet Li fans.
Apparently. Yes, apparently.
How many? We're just working through every Jet Li movie, apparently.
That's fine. This is 4 or 5?
Well, we're doing Unleashed today.
Unleashed.
We've done Black Mask.
The One.
The One.
Kiss of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Have we... I think that's 4.
That's 4, so we're on 4.
4. 4 out of 62.
Well, and he was also in that Mummy film.
Oh, there's 5, yeah.
There's 5.
So that is 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 out of 62. That's like 1/12 of Shut Up, I Like This has been Jet Li, which is fine with me. I'm really glad that you're a huge Jet Li fan. I grew up Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Those are my idols.
I will take any opportunity to watch his films again.
I was super pumped when we sat down and watched Black Mask. That was your first.
That was my first time for seeing Black Mask. Yeah.
I was so glad to have somebody else talk to about that.
And now I see it like everywhere.
It's funny how that works.
Store and shit.
You're scrolling through Hulu or something.
Yeah,
it's like
there's
Black Mask.
It happened with you with, what was it, Eric Balfour?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You watched?
I just watched the other night. Me and Caitlin we always have to do this thing where we can find movies that we like that we can watch when the girls are getting ready to go to sleep. So it's got to be kind of a weird mix. But we watched Tommy Boy and the girls like that when they're getting ready for bed and stuff. So we turned on Mel Gibson. What's it called? Oh, What Women Want. Mel Gibson gets electrocuted. He can hear what women are thinking about.
Yeah.
Fucking Eric Balfour is his daughter's boyfriend in that.
Who knew?
From like 2000. I was like, I know that guy. I like him. He's in this stupid chick flick that's forgotten about.
Yep.
I love them.
He's one of our favorites of the show.
I love
one of those actors that one of those Shut Up, I Like This actors that we're just big fans of.
Yes, sir. And that's another point I want to make. I want to get that list up. Been talking about it since the beginning, making a list on the website of the actors. And Jet Li would definitely be number 1 with 5 films.
Yeah.
I can't even think of who would be second right now.
We talk about Brendan Fraser a lot, but I think we've only done
1 film.
Well, George of the Jungle. And
2.
The Mummy film.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
2 for him.
2 for him. He's probably in top 5 right now. But Jet Li easily has a throne right now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll discuss more Jet Li in the future. There's just such a plethora of good stuff.
We say it every episode, but Mulan 2020.
Oh my gosh, yes, The Emperor.
Yeah. And now there's like actual photos when you look on IMDb.
Super pumped.
Yep.
Really looking forward to Mulan. And they say there's no diversity in film. You're in a fucking live action Mulan film.
I think that's cool.
But yes, today, episode number 62. 62. Crazy. Talking about Unleashed from 2005. Also known as Danny the Dog. This has a Rotten Tomato score of 66. Audience score of 75. So about 10 more percent enjoyed the film than the critics. I'm a little surprised. I mean, it is higher, but I'm kind of surprised that the critic score is so high.
It gets the Morgan Freeman bump.
You
put Morgan Freeman in any movie, and you're like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he's worth at least 25%. I have bump right there.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he's good. I think
phenomenal.
He makes this movie work.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
You take his character, his performance out of the film, and I really don't know what you have
really
left. I really think Morgan Freeman brings it all together. He makes this film work.
That's what you're saying. I think obviously he's the best man for the job, but I think it still could have been it would have, like you're saying, it would have been this good as a movie without Morgan Freeman. But Jet Li and Bob Hoskins' performances are up there with Freeman's. I think they're pretty close. So let's do that real quick while we're already talking about them. Let's run through the cast real quick.
Okay.
Of course, starting off, Jet Li plays Danny. We just talked about him. He's a big influence to us. Great films, awesome martial artist, and he's a good actor. Showcased in this film.
Yeah.
He's more than just kicking and punching people.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did fantastic in this film. Morgan Freeman, you just talked about.
He's good at everything.
Everything.
What can you say about Morgan Freeman that hasn't already been said?
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
He's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, that's all you got to say about Morgan Freeman in a film with Jet Li. Like, that's two completely different worlds converging, and it's awesome. Another shout out like this alum, Bob Hoskins. Bob Hoskins was just in Doomsday that we did a couple weeks ago.
Which I think is what led us to this one.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah. I think,
like, oh, this got Jet Li and Bob Hoskins in it. Oh, we got to do Unleashed.
Yeah, I think that is.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that it was the
logic.
The segue there. But that's how we pick every movie. We're like, oh my gosh, remember that?
I know, because now I want to do Dick Tracy.
Oh, yes, we should do Dick Tracy.
Uh-huh.
I would love to. Let's do that.
Okay.
I'd love Dick Tracy.
It's Bob Hoskins month.
He's not in that, though.
Okay, I thought he was, wasn't he?
I don't think so. He might be. Maybe he is. I mean, it's Dustin Hoffman, Al Pacino, Warren Beatty, Madonna. I don't know. Maybe he is in that. While you're looking at that, I want to talk about Carrie Condon, who plays Victoria, the stepdaughter in this film. She's had a pretty big...
No, I was off. I was wrong on that one.
No Dick Tracy for Bob?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
I thought he was in it somewhere. I thought he played one of the villains. But
I could see that.
I got a lot of the people wear so much makeup in that.
I know.
I think that was where I
It's awesome.
got mixed up on. But
that's fine.
We should still do Dick Tracy.
I would love
Yeah.
to talk about Dick Tracy. Love that film. I actually have it on Blu-ray, I think.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't own that one. But
Oh, yeah. I think it's either a DVD or Blu-ray, but I know I have it.
yeah.
Love that movie. That was when I had on VHS when I was a kid.
Oh, cool.
Love that film. So Carrie Condon, who plays Victoria, the stepdaughter in this film, has had a pretty substantial jump in her career. I think you're going to find this pretty interesting.
Was she the blonde-haired girl?
She's the stepdaughter. She's kind of
Morgan Freeman's.
Yeah.
Friday from all the Avengers films.
How the hell did you know that?
Because I was looking on IMDb before.
All right, so I think kind of her big thing, she got onto Walking Dead, which I think anyone who gets into Walking Dead that's a good thing to have in your resume.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, she is the voice of Friday now in the MCU, taking over for Paul Bettany in Iron Man, which is pretty awesome. That's a pretty big leap from Unleashed to be in the MCU.
Mm-hmm. She was in Better Call Saul.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Too,
I saw that on the list too. There's a ton of those.
She's good.
Yeah,
she's good.
I liked her in this too.
Yeah,
she was fine.
I thought it was interesting that she's like 18 and Jet Li's like 40.
Right.
And they try to play them off that they're the same age.
A little bit.
A little bit? And
yeah.
Like, oh.
There was some kind of like forced sexual tension, but it went away pretty quick, I think. I think they kind of went around that.
Yeah, they did.
Especially
it was more flirtatious.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just the allure of she's been kind of, I don't want to say sheltered, but she's kind of been sheltered her whole life. Bit. Especially with her parents' death and Sam going blind. She doesn't get out too much. And then now this stranger is in her house and she's excited.
Horny.
A little
basically.
Bit. A little bit, maybe. And then somebody else I want to mention, there's a ton of stuntmen in this film. But one that stands out to me is Scott Adkins. He's one of the fighters in the swimming pool when they throw in the weapons.
Okay.
Scott Adkins, we've talked about him before, I think, he's phenomenal. He started out as a stunt guy. He has his own films now. He's been a lead in a film called Ninja, which is actually really good.
I've got Ninja at home on like Blu-ray or something, and I've never watched it.
You have it on Blu-ray?
Yeah, I think so.
We should do that soon.
Okay.
I think you'd really like that.
I bought it, but I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. Scott Adkins is a beast. But he's done stunts. He was just recently in like Expendables 2.
Okay.
He's done stunts with Jet Li before. I think in Kiss of the Dragon, maybe I think he did stunts. But every time I see him now, I get really excited.
That's usually how these martial arts films go. You have to pull from the well of stuntmen who are capable of doing this kind of work. It's kind of a shallow pool. So you do end up with, if you're into this kind of stuff, you can follow like Jet Li and certain certain stuntmen actors, through different films with him.
Yeah, and I think I could be wrong, but I think Scott Adkins is kind of in tandem with Jet Li. He's done a lot of films with Jet Li.
Is he related to Tom Atkins?
No.
Halloween 3?
No. I don't think so.
How do you
Who
know?
knows? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Could be.
But super pumped. I hope we do a Scott Adkins film that he's the star in because he's cool.
We should. I would be down for that.
He was in. This is a cool time because you talk about the film District B.
Oh, District B9.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Or was it B13?
I think maybe 13. He was in that with a bunch of stuntmen like Ciro Raffaelli.
Yeah, District B13.
Yeah.
That was the one with all the stuntmen.
Yeah. So like Kiss of the Dragon, Ciro Raffaelli.
Yeah.
Scott Adkins is in that. That is from the writer Luc Besson.
Really?
I did not know Luc Besson wrote it. And he wrote this film, Unleashed. So that kind of leads us into the
I'm telling you,
director.
you've got to watch District B13.
Yeah, let's add it to the list. I mean, it's on the list, but let's do it soon.
Let's do it.
So that kind of leads me into the writer Luc Besson, legend, I think, for writing standpoints. I think Fifth Element. That's a
classic sci-fi.
it's
Bruce
classic.
Willis.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, even if you haven't
Multipass.
exactly. Everybody knows that. Everybody. Negative. I'm a human popsicle. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
So Luc Besson, Fifth
I
Element.
want to watch Fifth Element now.
That'd be a fun one.
We should. Who gives a fuck what the Rotten Tomatoes score is? We should do Fifth Element.
Fifth Element would be awesome. He wrote District B13. He wrote this, and he also wrote probably his biggest. I don't know if it's his biggest financial, but when his most popular is Leon the Professional. I think his name is kind of.
I don't really like that movie.
What? Oh man, I love that film. And Taken is a big one, of course, with Neeson.
Yep.
So Luc Besson, I think, is kind of a writing legend, especially for this kind of film.
You got anything coming out recently? Anything new?
I think so. I didn't write it down. I'm sorry, but a quick glance at IMDb. But he's still writing stuff. And then real quick, director, I think his name's Louis Leterrier or something. I don't know. I can't speak French.
Yeah.
He is the director of 2008, The Incredible Hulk. So he's tied in with the MCU as well.
Okay.
So there's a couple MCU tie-ins. And he also did Transporter with Statham.
I love
Transporter's fantastic.
Yes.
And he's doing the new Dark Crystal television show.
Okay.
I think it's going to be on Netflix, actually. So I'm pretty pumped about.
Not really one I've ever gotten into too much, but I know a lot of people are big fans of that Dark Crystal. So
yeah, you should. Have you seen it once? No,
I never really cared to watch it. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but
yeah. Oh, I enjoy it.
Yeah,
that's not too bad. So that kind of is the cast director at something I wanted to kind of a last second thing is the producers produced by Luc Besson and Jet Li.
Oh, cool.
They were actually producers on it. So, get into the film, talk about first experiences. You kind of remember your first time seeing this? Did you see it when it came out?
I don't. Really remember the first time I watched it. 2005. That would have been right at the tail end of when I was working at, when I started at the video store. Probably there.
Yeah.
I just don't remember.
How can you remember everything?
Yeah.
How dare you?
I guess you can't.
I just remember like renting this. I was in middle school, saw it, big Jet Li fan. Of course, I saw it with my dad. Mom wouldn't let me watch it, but saw it then, and I didn't really, being so young, I didn't appreciate the story behind it. I was just there to see Jet Li beat up people. kind of a strong notion I want to start the episode off of. This is a fantastic story that I think if it wasn't a martial arts film, quote unquote, this is a kind of a Oscar nominee kind of film.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about because there's like a whole middle chunk of the movie. I forgot my notes at home on my computer, but I had wrote down that I wasn't really. There's a dinner scene where Jet Li meets up with Morgan Freeman and they sit down and they all have dinner for the first time.
Oh, the soup.
Yeah, with the soup and stuff. Before that point in the movie, you really don't care about the characters and what's going on, and it's just kind of like Jet Li, martial arts action, and really, who gives a shit?
Yep.
And then that dinner scene is where it kind of switches gears a little bit, and it slows down, and you get, that was where I actually got invested in the characters in Morgan Freeman and more in Jet Li as like a character, as opposed to, it's just Jet Li doing martial arts stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool to look at. And so I thought that was really neat. And I enjoy that whole middle section of the movie where you see Jet Li's character grow. And
yeah.
I think that's cool.
That's
you don't expect that from a movie called Unleashed. And the trailers don't really allude to any of that.
No. This is, I talked about last week, I kind of had a cool story with this film. Shortly after Caitlin and I were dating, I was like, we should watch Unleashed just to see if she would go for it. And it took a little coercing, but I was like, it's a martial arts film, but it's not. Like, it's got kind of like a girly story in it.
Yeah.
It's kind of got, a caterpillar blossoming into a beautiful butterfly. And it took a little bit, but we sat down and watched it. And about halfway through, she's like, I really like this. Like, it's that
middle chunk of the movie with Morgan Freeman doing his thing and
being a father and
making it work.
Yeah, it's more than just a martial arts film, and I think that 66%. That's not terrible for a critic score, but I think if it wasn't
there
labeled,
are DC movies that get lower than that.
Yeah.
That are really good.
Yeah.
So 66% is pretty respectable score, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But I think if what's
BBS at?
40 something, I bet.
Right?
But I think if this wasn't like quote unquote labeled a martial arts movie, I think it would have gotten a lot more respect and a lot more kind of a higher review score. Because I think a lot of critics on Rotten Tomatoes see this film and just see it as another puppy. See it as another Jet Li beating people up film. They don't see the middle part or even the end.
Right.
You're looking up the BBS score.
I'm trying. It's like, bleh.
Your phone's dumb.
I typed verse Superman and it's the Superman and it got fucking confused. Showed me a bunch of animated stuff.
27.
27%.
Yeah. 63% audience. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that movie doesn't have Morgan Freeman or Jet Li.
Or Jet Li.
So there you go. That's why. But yeah, that middle part, we'll go more into it as we go, but that was first experiences.
Yeah.
So another thing that I want to talk about kind of here at the beginning is the soundtrack, the music. Really caught my attention. Did you think anything about the music? Did it kind of...
I guess I didn't really notice it. So the floor is yours.
Well, I think I'm just a sucker for...
like a good soundtrack.
Yeah, well, yeah. But Massive Attack is who did most of the soundtrack.
Okay.
They are a duo. Oh, I'm going to get it wrong. I think they're over from Scotland or somewhere in there.
Yeah.
In the UK. And they've done a whole laundry list they've worked on The Matrix, They did Blade 2, Mad Max Fury Road.
Those are
Some examples.
3 awesome kick-ass movies.
Incredible. And they all have fantastic soundtracks. And the way that they combine action with music and kind of set the tone. I think I first noticed them in Blade 2. I was like, I really like that soundtrack. That's amazing. And now they're everywhere in every big action film that you like. Though it's like poetry that they make for action scenes. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Massive Attack because I think they nailed the scoring in this and the music. When it just cuts and it's dead silent, and then Jet Li kicks open a door and then it drops, and it's just like you're ready to kick people in the face.
Cool.
I loved it. And working with him on this film is Neil Devaj, I think. I just wanted to mention him because he's kind of a tie-in. He did the music for Push. So I had to write that down because we just talked about Push a couple weeks ago. So all in all, I just want to give the soundtrack an A+. I love the soundtrack in this film. I love the music and everything. So let's get into the actual film. Let's talk about Danny the dog chaining somebody against their will and training them from a child to be an attack dog. How do you make that into a film? They did it. And so let's get into it. Talk about Bob Hoskins. Kyle?
Jeff?
So talking about Bob Hoskins, Jet Li and stuff, let's kind of get into their relationship because I think it's a really cool, you get to see Morgan Freeman and Jet Li and that father-son relationship.
Really cool, but also very fucked up.
And Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Bob Hoskins' character a little bit.
Okay.
And how fucking demented he is. What did I say? He's a giant bag of dicks or something?
Yeah, something like that.
But this would have been a great audition tape for a Penguin and a Batman film. Anyway.
I had wrote down in my notes that I forgot at home. He also would have been a good Lex Luthor.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, don't you think?
Yeah, I kind of like that too. That's interesting. And it's not often that you get someone shorter than Jet Li on set.
Yeah, but they did.
Jet Li's taller than Bob Hoskins. But yeah, he is a giant bag of dicks.
Super Mario.
So. Yeah, Mario. So to kind of set this up real quick, Danny and his mom are living another film that takes place in Scotland, which I really like. It's in Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Bob Hoskins, Doomsday this, Glasgow, Scotland. Interesting.
Where did Harry Brown take place?
Right?
No, I'm serious.
Outside London.
Was it London?
Yeah, outside London, I think.
Connected universe. All that I'm saying is that Harry Brown would not approve of Bob Hoskins.
Yes.
They would clash heads.
A little bit. That's interesting because I've got something in trivia concerning Michael Caine. So we'll get to that.
His character and Morgan Freeman from Unleashed just put them in a film together.
Oh, Michael Caine?
Yeah, like Harry Brown from Michael Caine and blind Morgan Freeman from Unleashed.
They were war buddies. That's how Morgan Freeman got.
Oh my god, that's fucking good. Extended universe lore.
That's silly.
Trivia.
We know how he lost his blindness. He lost it in the car accident.
What if that's just what he says?
Whatever.
They were war buddies.
Yeah.
Tangerines.
Weren't they in a film together?
They're Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine. They're bound to have been in a film together.
I want to say like Las Vegas, but I don't think that's it. But something like that. Or like, I don't know. I think they were in a film together.
They have to have been. There's no way they haven't. They're in fucking everything.
Anyways, back to Bob Hoskins. Talking about his character with Jet Li. Quick background. That's how we got Peter.
Yeah.
Danny and his mom are living in Glasgow. Bob Hoskins is just a mob boss, I guess. He's a collector.
Some kind of crime syndicate
little deal. He's a loan shark.
Okay.
That's what it is, because he goes and he gets payments from everybody.
Sure.
I don't know how Danny's mom and him came together somehow, but Bob's there often and harassing and presumably sexually assaulting her. She has enough of it. She smashes a vase against his head, which comes into play later. And he murders her in front of Danny, takes Danny, and starts training him to be a human dog.
Which is fucked up.
Which is way fucked up. Kill your mother in front of you and then teach you to be an attack dog.
Right.
Fucking crazy. But at the same time, though, Bob is really fucking charismatic in this role.
He is.
When he starts lying to Danny sometimes, you want to believe him.
He's a good actor.
He's a very good actor, for sure. But especially, I think his most pivotal scene is at the end, his monologue that he gives about come back to a world that you understand.
Oh, I like that part a lot.
That whole monologue, he fucking crushed it. And you believe him. You know, we'll just forget about this. Just come home.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, if you promise we'll just put it behind us. But I think that last monologue stood out the most for his character.
I think so.
And then that's when the flower pot vase comes back into play.
Morgan Freeman from behind.
I love that line too.
What was the line?
He hits him and he goes, "That man can talk some serious shit."
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yep. So what
I enjoyed about that end scene, before I forget, is I like the kind of the good versus evil, where you have Bob Hoskins basically being like, "Just kill me, be the animal, be the dog, just kill me," and Morgan Freeman is like, "No, don't do it. Don't be better than that. Be better than him." I like that dynamic. That was interesting.
And this is a stupid observation, but usually when you see that, Bob wears white throughout the whole film.
Yeah. Which
I thought was kind of weird, right? Because you see a character like that, you assume dark clothing, dark clothes, black, grays. He wears white, which makes you... It's just... We've been programmed to think that white is good and holy. And Freeman wears dark and heavy, woolly, gray clothes the whole time.
No, interesting observation.
I don't know if that means anything, but...
I don't know.
We've been conditioned to think that way.
Maybe they just thought Bob looked good in all white.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, get that tie too.
Reminded me of Hellraiser. Oh, every time I see a white suit with blood on it, I think of Hellraiser. Yeah.
He was bleeding a lot in this film too.
He was.
Holy cow. So, I want to talk about the cage that he keeps him in as well. Because throughout the film, you see his teddy bear. You see
that's fucked up.
That book. That's like what my 2-year-old would have.
Yeah.
An A through Z book with L for love. But in this cage, this moment of self-discovery, like Morgan Freeman talks about, that moment of self-discovery after he gets hit in the head and he's bleeding. They give him a bandage. He doesn't know how to fucking use it. And he beats the shit out of his punching bag and it starts draining out sand. And just that correlation between him and trying to stop his punching bag from leaking and the blood coming from his hand, and then he learns the bandages. That's Jet Li. That's a martial artist acting his ass off. Throughout this whole film, he just acts like a child, and it's amazing. I think I texted you, he has like the best puppy eyes ever.
Yeah, he does.
It's adorable. So, Bob Hoskins portrays the bad guy flawlessly. And I like actors who can go back and forth. Because we've seen Bob be a good guy, and we've seen Bob be a bag of dicks.
I think he's better at being an asshole.
Me too. Definitely.
God, he would have been a good Penguin.
Yes!
You're spot on with that.
Would have been amazing. I'm so sad he's gone. So then switch to the other side where we have Morgan Freeman, who might be a little bit too caring for my taste.
He's
But, I
Morgan
mean, that's the
He's
point.
Morgan Freeman.
Right. But I mean, you take a stranger into your house who's been shot, you nurse them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Would you take a dude that was shot?
No.
So we talked about Bob Hoskins and like that last speech and everything. What was your favorite Morgan Freeman moment? The moment where you're like, that's his best scene.
That first dinner scene really stands out. I think that was
Oh yeah.
that was a good moment. I like the bit at the supermarket
I was gonna say that.
where he's picking up, what was it, that cantaloupe or
Yeah.
whatever it was,
Melon thing.
melon thing, and like tapping on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comes back to that later on when the two guys were fighting and they come into the store and Jet Li totally ignores him and he just pops. That was really funny. He
Yeah.
pops around the corner and just like, it's ripe.
Yeah. I
thought that was really funny. I liked that bit.
That's probably pertains to one of my favorite lines in the film. Is they're back at the house and Morgan Freeman's talking to him like, their big thing is we don't ask questions. We feel we'll let you talk when you're ready.
Yeah.
But I need to ask you some stuff because that was crazy. And he's like, those people in the store earlier, they were fighting. You know that, right? He's like, yeah. That didn't scare you?
No.
No. Well, normally when people are in that situation, they get scared. They weren't fighting me. I'm like, damn, dude, you're right.
He's actually not wrong.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Exactly. That's interesting to think about. Because put ourselves in that situation, we'd probably be scared too.
Right.
Why?
They're not fighting me.
Yeah, they're fighting each other, not hurting me at all.
Yeah, I liked that
that's
bit. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the
You know what bothered me a little bit? So he's back, and I realized because he's been trained with a collar, and like you said, he's kind of like a kid in the movie. But when they find him again outside the supermarket and they go to take him back to Bob and he doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
Jet Li's a total, but he could have kicked the shit out of that guy.
yeah. But then he would have went back and told Bob where he was shopping at. Jet Li doesn't want to kill people anymore. I don't want to hurt people anymore.
But he could have like fucked that guy up, like bam.
That guy, I wrote down is the Scottish version of Chris Hardwick.
Ha! That's a good pull.
You get that vibe too.
Yeah.
If this was an American version, that guy would have been Chris Hardwick for sure.
In the American remake.
I kept. Oh my gosh, I kept thinking that, and I kept laughing to myself. So I have a couple lines I want to discuss real fast.
It's ripe. That was my favorite line in the film.
That's like multi-pass.
Yeah.
It's
oh my
right.
God, you're right. And it's the same writer. You're right. It was like the same fucking multi-pass. It's holy shit. Jeff.
Luke Besson.
Jeff.
Told you.
Yeah.
Now we gotta look for that in Taken.
We do.
What part would it be?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and rewatch the film.
It's a bullet.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I got some quotes. It's a rape. This was a very interesting. I'm going to save this one for last because I kind of want to discuss it further. Right after Jet Li is taken into their house, he wakes up in the pajamas.
Yeah.
And he hides under the bed. Morgan Freeman comes in and scares the shit out of him.
2 movies in a row where people end up underneath beds.
The bed, yeah. The ward shoot. There's stuff under there. And he talks about when I was a boy, if I woke in somebody else's pajamas, where would I hide? When I was a little kid, the safest place in the world was right where you are. And then he pokes his head, surprise, motherfuckers. That would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, no shit.
But I liked the speech about under the bed, safest place in the world to be. We discussed they weren't fighting me. I really like that line. It's ripe. And then, so this one I kind of want to talk about a little bit. This is Bob Hoskins talking about the dream that he has. And then somebody shows up with a machine gun.
Yeah.
Exactly. I bet you've never had a dream in your life. And then he takes a moment. Must be peaceful. So this is kind of off topic. but I kind of want to talk about this line because I think it's kind of interesting to
Okay.
discuss. So what do you think about this line? Do you think it would, for all the nightmares and all the weird shit that we dream about, can you imagine not dreaming at all? Like,
Yeah.
would you like that? Would you like not dreaming?
I don't know. I don't really remember a lot of mine, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's, I don't know. I guess it would kind of be like the ghost of Christmas past for me. He shows me all these things and I want to forget, but then by the end, you know what, I better keep them.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of weird fucking dreams that I'd rather not have. But then there's always that one every year that you're just like, that was in my head, really? And so I think I'd want to keep that one to the every bad 20.
Sure.
Little take on dreams, I guess. But I really like that line.
I thought what was
By Bob.
interesting about that is that it made Bob Hoskins a little more human in the fact that
There you go.
he's not just blah, I'm a bad guy, I do bad shit.
He's not just a penguin.
Rah, I'm over the top bad guy or whatever. It's like, he's probably done some horrible shit. And that was him in a roundabout way saying, I have to live with this terrible shit that I've done.
Ooh.
Maybe I regret it a little bit. That was how I read into that.
I like that.
Little character moment.
Right?
I like the little character moments like that.
There's a ton of those in this.
Definitely.
Right after that line, the way he feeds Jet Li out of his hand,
It's weird.
so strange. And it's just for like, you don't even barely see it, but it's just like, what the fuck just happened? But that little character moment, the red beeping or the red flashing light,
Oh, sure.
right when we meet Morgan Freeman, you have that whole moment with the fingers, with Jet Li's hands.
Where they're playing the piano.
And he goes to grab his hands and he tells him, you need to loosen up, you're far too stiff and all this
Yeah.
other stuff.
Punching shit.
Yeah, Jet Li meeting somebody outside of his world for the first time was kind of cool. And especially that it's Morgan Freeman.
I really like that piano scene.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yep.
From the finger thing to Morgan kind of knowing what, without seeing, he knows Jet Li, basically.
Yes.
Without even saying anything. And he knows he's there, he knows he needs to relax, but he can't. I
agree with
like
you.
that scene.
I like that bit about his hands because you look at like UFC fighters, like you look at their knuckles from like, and that's wearing gloves,
right.
and some of them they get like straight across because they're like calloused over and everything, like on their knuckles. So like a fighter like Jet Li, who's
raw dog in it,
not trained, like his hands would be all fucked up.
Mm-hmm. So when kind of right after we started the podcast, we did our DCEU month. We talked
Yes.
about Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Do you remember the ice cream scene in Wonder Woman?
Not offhand. Refresh my memory a little bit.
They're on the dock. Steve Trevor buys her ice cream, and she looks and she goes, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is the coolest thing ever. It's so sweet."
Okay, yeah.
Anyways,
There's an ice cream scene in this movie.
I think when we talked about Wonder Woman, I think I might have mentioned this movie.
Did you?
Because this is what I thought of.
Oh, cool.
I was like, oh yeah, like that scene with Jet Li.
They
where
stole
it eats
it.
the ice cream.
They stole it.
Yeah, except it was in a comic before.
Nope, they still stole it from Jet Li.
Right. Did you notice, talked about this a lot in Doomsday, did you notice any dirt bike armor?
Immediately.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
pool.
The Mad Max looking fucking people.
Yep. As soon as they jumped in, fucking dirt bike armor.
Which they really didn't have to be. Why were they dressed weird like that?
Appeal.
Yeah, I guess they kind of say, oh, these people are here to see a show.
Yeah. That weird, creepy fucking guy.
I don't like that guy.
I don't either. Way creepy. He's got the long, slender, sunken in face and red hair. Do you have a favorite scene that you want? Because I kind of want to jump into one.
For a movie with some cool martial arts, I'm going with that dinner scene.
Still.
I'm sticking with that. Yeah, that was really where I got invested in the characters and in the story of the film, outside of it just being cool stunts.
Right?
Yep.
Interesting. The ending. He tucks them into the closet like his mother did, and you see that cool flashback.
Yep.
And then that beat drops. And then he's fighting throughout that whole hallway and everything. Another film we've talked about, The Raid, came to mind.
Yes.
Mowing through all those guys in the hallway, running up and down the stairs. Immediately thought of The Raid. This was before The Raid.
Very cool.
Very Jet Li. So with all the martial arts and that, and the music, and another thing I want to talk about with this film is the way Jet Li fights. It's unlike anything that we've seen Jet Li do.
Definitely.
Usually Jet Li you see him, he's very fluid, very calculated. He knows where he's going to go. He's kind of a boxer in this film almost.
A little bit.
His arms are just like flails. And he goes for nut shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of kicking people in the nuts in this film. I picked up on that too.
Tons of it. So that ends fight scene in the halls, and then that leads to the fight with Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville, Lex Luthor looking guy.
The guy in all white.
Yeah.
That was a good fight
I really
scene.
like that fight.
Where they fight in the bathroom.
Yes.
Yes.
That fucking scene was awesome.
And that was a good scene. That was a good sequence.
Like Transporter 2, is it Mark Henry? Somebody like that. Giant black dude. Brawler. Just pinch Statham in half. And he fights him in that boat and he can barely move because it's so small. Reminded me of that. You're in like a 4x4 room trying to fight. It's just beautiful. I love that shit. And then that poor woman.
Yeah.
Just trying to take a shower. Let's see what else. Talked about the music. Did you have anything that else that we didn't really mention yet? I think I have a couple things.
There's a green filter over top of this movie in general. Did you notice that?
It's
it's tinted green, and it reminded me a little bit of The Matrix.
Is it green or blue?
I thought it was more green.
Okay. Either way, it just felt colder.
Yeah. And I wasn't 100% sure why they felt the need to do that.
I don't know. Because
that bugged me a little bit.
The tinting?
Yeah, I just don't like when movies get tinted.
Like I noticed it.
The Matrix is the only example of, that makes sense, because we're inside a simulation.
Okay, right.
So it's tinted green, and I can follow that. Any other movie, I'm really not a fan.
Yeah.
I just don't like that.
Yeah, it did just seem... Yeah, I don't know how else you describe it. Just colder.
Yeah.
With their LUT filming or whatever it is. Kind of the last thing I want to mention before we get into trivia, final thoughts, all that other stuff. There's a ton to this movie. But the comparing a man to a piano. Morgan Freeman explaining it to Jet Li.
Oh, yeah, that was a good bit, too.
I thought that was really awesome. You can't just pound and pound and pound on them, even though they're big, strong things. You have to be gentle with them.
Right.
And comparing that to people, to Jet Li, who is, in his mind, a child, was kind of a really cool comparison and kind of a moment of enlightenment.
Yep. Where
Jet Li's like, oh my God, I'm the guy pounding on the piano. That's why I'm like this instead of loose. Pretty much everything Morgan Freeman says to Jet Li in this film is Oscar worthy. There's always...
Because he's Morgan Freeman.
There's always...
He could read the dictionary and make an Oscar worthy. He really could, Jeff.
there's always an underlining theme to everything that he tells Jet Li, and I think Jet Li gets underplayed in this film a little bit because of Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of touched on it. I kind of want to dive into it a little bit deeper, but Jet Li acts the fuck out in this film. Like,
without saying a lot.
hardly
He doesn't
any.
have much actual spoken dialogue.
Yeah. If at under 20 lines.
You could maybe fill
This page.
a notebook page
with his dialogue.
with his dialogue.
Everything else is actions and nuances and face
Yep.
twitches, eye movements. Jet Li. I'm so excited to say that Jet Li is a fucking awesome actor. Because you don't think about it.
Yep. I do like that when he does speak, it has a purpose.
Yeah.
Like when he tells him no.
Yeah. I am home.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's good stuff.
They just beats the fuck out of Bob Hoskins.
Yep.
Oh, it's so good. Everything he says has a purpose. Forgot what I was saying, but anyways. And then the final scene of them at Victoria's recital, I love the line that she says where this song is dedicated to somebody very wonderful.
Oh, yeah. And Jet Li's like, he's talking about you, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. And, oh, no, this is about you. Whose life was quite literally saved by music. Wow. That was weird. Just went blank for a second. I think I had a stroke. But that song, I have downloaded that on like Spotify and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because that, it's just like, oh, Jet Li's mom. It's kind of, I love that.
Dorky,
I love that key sound.
Sure.
Now. It's amazing. And the way that they kind of found out who she was and looked at her music and she played it to them. It's just good stuff. Such good stuff. Fucking love this movie. I think
I like the explanation for like why Jet Li, like why the music, like why it calms him down
yeah.
a little bit. Because he's remembering back to his mother.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's a little nuance that is such a character builder. And even just hearing the piano.
How old was he supposed to be when she died?
5, maybe, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe 5-ish.
So he doesn't really remember, but like a little bit.
Yeah. Probably remembers. I mean, he does remember getting closed in the closet.
Yeah. Like, well, what do you remember from being 5? Nothing.
Care Bears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's just. This movie gives me shivers. And talking Caitlin into watching it with me not too long ago, seeing her reaction to it, because I make her watch a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah.
I'll be fair.
No, not you, Jeff. Never.
She's watched pretty much every Jet Li movie now.
Yeah.
So she was kind of expecting Black Mask and stuff, and I was like, no, this one's different. And it took
Morgan Freeman.
It took a little convincing.
Yeah.
But, watching her watch this was pretty cool.
Definitely.
I
wanted to talk a little more about the collar.
Okay,
Just the collar aspect of the film, because I thought that was a really unique kind of setup.
Kind of like a horror film for a couple of scenes.
Yeah, and I had wondered, how does this work exactly? Is there some kind of like electronic component to it?
I think it's just like,
or is it just
it's like
because he's been trained? Like what was that?
It's like Pavlov's dogs.
What was that movie that we reviewed with Kurt Russell?
Soldier. Trivia about something.
Is it a little bit like that?
Yeah.
Where because he's been trained since he was 5 to, you wear the collar and you're subdued and you do what I say and you take it off and then you fight.
Yeah. It's very much just it's training mice. It's Pavlov's dogs. Teaching them to salivate.
Is there more? Does he have other people
I don't think
with
so.
collars?
No, just him.
Just him.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't think there's. That would take a lot to.
I wondered, like,
Yeah.
are
To
there,
train him.
are there other people in his syndicate to have the collar?
No, I don't think so.
I was kind of,
Hoping for that.
you know, it would have been cool if the people that fought in that underground pit, that, what was it, like an old swimming pool or whatever, would have been other people with collars. Like if
See,
they-
now you
if
just
they're-
want like this John Wick underworld of hitman who all have dogs.
Yeah. Wouldn't that have been cool, though?
I don't know. I think what makes it unique is that he is
He's the only one.
the one. Oh my
Uh.
god. Yeah. I think that's what makes it and such a tragic story too.
Yeah.
It's very much it's a Greek tragedy, really. Except he doesn't die, but his mom dies, so it is.
Right.
Yeah,
I wanted a little more with the collars.
that's kind of the whole thing with the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, to get kind of maybe like a background of like the training that it took or something, or
Sure.
something. But
I really like the part where the girl takes the collar off.
yes, that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Yep.
That was like a horror film for 2 scenes.
What if you would have just like lost your shit?
Right? That's what you think. You're like, oh, fuck, don't take it off. Everything's new about you now. Your hair is new, your clothes are new. Now it's just time for this. And it's just a close up, and she's slowly reaching for it.
And then he immediately shits himself.
Yes. And that clicking sound
Yeah.
where it comes off. Oh my god. I definitely thought that she was going to get her fucking ass kicked
Yeah.
the first time I saw it. And I thought that was going to be kind of like the catalyst of the film where he has to go back and
Did he have like a little flashback moment? Because he should have had
yeah.
a little.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
There-
Okay.
as soon as she clicked it off, there's that quick
yeah.
him jumping
Yeah.
and shit. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
God.
And then at the very end of the film, where he's wearing the bow tie, and Morgan
Yeah.
Freeman is like, I don't remember what he says.
Yeah.
This
They-
fits you a lot better than that fucking collar you wear.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
You okay with that thing around your neck?
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
And then Jet Li was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You did,
Thanks for dramatizing me.
You did the John Cena.
Made the movie 10,000 times worse if you did that.
Kind of would have been pretty good.
But the collar was, I mean, that's the whole point of the film. But he has like
Scars
scarring
around the neck and shit.
from the rubbing
Yeah.
and shit. Man, that guy's a dick bag.
Yeah.
It's just they just kept trying to add shit on top of him too, with the pictures and the creepy shit,
Right.
And the whores, prostitutes, and I don't know. They just like as if he wasn't already a big enough asshole. Here's more stuff, just to add that little creep level. Love him. Love Bob Hoskins. I wish he was still here. So is there anything else you wanted to mention? Do some final thoughts.
I think we covered it pretty good.
Okay. Should they watch it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, definitely. Even if they're not a Jet Li fan?
Yeah, because Morgan Freeman, that
Even
whole...
if they're not Morgan Freeman
Yeah.
fans? Like...
Well, if you're not a Jet Li fan or you're not a Morgan Freeman fan, fuck you.
But
You're
right,
wrong.
okay, but they should still watch, like, even if they aren't. Like, this film, I think anybody can sit down and watch this film. I mean, not like my 2-year-old.
I don't know if like my mom would.
Really, though? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because, I
'Cause
mean,
my mom is very like Hallmark Channel.
it's like a Hallmark movie
Christmas
in the middle.
movie shit. Yeah.
He teaches them how to shop. He teaches them how to cook.
I guess.
It's very Hallmarky
A little bit.
in the middle.
A little bit.
They eat ice cream together. And it's cute.
Yeah, my mom probably would like that middle chunk in the film.
Just like start it when it gets to that point where he wakes up in the pajamas.
Yeah, there
And
you
then
go.
just let her finish it. Be
Okay.
Like, that'll happen at the end. But I mean, like, Caitlin watched it and she ended up liking it. So it's a film that If you have to do a little coercing,
Sure.
because it's more than just a martial arts film. I've said that 8 times, but this is, in my mind, an Oscar-worthy film. It's got a great message behind it. The theme is stated. It's a tragic story, and it's a good one. Get ready for Unleashed 2.
You know what I also liked about it? I like lower budget films.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
half the movies we talk about.
yeah, and we see so many, like, Marvel movies are great, but they're so overblown.
Yeah.
And that's good if you're in the mood for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not always in the mood for that. I like locations where it's a supermarket.
Yeah.
It's a house.
A school.
A school.
An
That's kind of it.
Yeah. And it takes its time telling a story.
Yep.
And it has those character moments and builds the characters, like you said, with that first dinner scene. And from there, you're just like, where are these characters going to go? And that first opening shot of Jet Li, where he's flying through the door and beating shit out of people. If you would have shown somebody, like, that's the beginning, and then that end of him in the bow tie.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you get from there to there? It's this fantastic story.
Yep.
100%. I've been waiting to talk about this one for a little bit, because Unleashed is phenomenal.
I keep wanting to say they did a sequel to it.
Yeah, no.
But they did not.
No. Thankfully. This movie's damn near flawless.
Would you want to have a sequel?
No.
Or a remake?
No. No. Neither. I think
You're good?
I think this movie's damn near flawless. I think this is probably one of the better movies we've talked about. In my opinion.
Yep.
All the way around. It has everything that we talk about that we like the martial arts, it has action, it has character development,
romance,
everything, fucking everything.
Back of the box quotes.
Man, damn near perfect movie. So let's get into some
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, Jet Li, Bob Hoskins, great cat. Friday from MCU. Scott Adkins is in there briefly. I love Scott Adkins, so definitely. If it's been a while since you watched this, because this movie came out in 05.
2005, yeah.
I keep thinking that it was like 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there when I was in high school, but no. I was in middle school.
Yeah.
Love this film. Got some trivia. I've got a lot of trivia. A lot of stuff that we mentioned and brought up in conversation. Got something about Soldier. Got something about Michael Caine.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting that just brought it up in conversation.
I enjoy the trivia because I don't look any of this up. So this is all new to me, folks.
So it makes me happy.
Yeah.
I like you being surprised. So Morgan Freeman's character wasn't always blind in the script. It was changed because it was easier for him to see the child in Jet Li and not the brutal killer.
Okay, cool. I like that.
And I think
that's a good change.
That was expanded upon. Morgan Freeman went to a blind school.
Sure.
Outside of the film for something, maybe he was giving a speech or something, doing Morgan Freeman shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This would be a good idea," so they did it.
Morgan Freeman shit. Maybe a T-shirt.
There we go.
Yeah.
There's the T-shirt we need. What are you doing later? Morgan Freeman shit. This screenplay, Luc Besson's screenplay, was written exclusively for Jet Li. So if Jet Li hadn't signed on, we wouldn't have seen this film.
Yeah, I don't know who else could have done it.
You see, I was thinking about that earlier. If we were to stay in kind of that realm of Donnie Yen, Jet Li, Jackie Chan.
Donnie Yen would be about the only person you could sub
I love me
into
some
this
Donnie
film.
Yen.
IP Man could totally pull this off.
I was thinking about maybe some newer guys like Iko Uwais from The Raid, maybe.
Ooh, there you go.
That might be interesting. But yeah, Jet Li was the guy, I think.
Yeah.
Love Jet Li. Bob Hoskins actually cut Jet Li's hair as his character would at the start of filming.
Oh.
So he just jacked it up for him, and
cool.
He looks all ratchety because he actually did it. Before Bob Hoskins, it was Billy Connolly, and some scenes were already shot. That's kind of a big reason it took place in Glasgow.
Oh, okay.
Because Billy Connolly is, I
Sure.
don't know, Scottish. He actually shot some scenes. He got caught up in something else. He had to leave the project.
Yeah.
And so Bob Hoskins came in. But others that were included, what were thought about, were Anthony Hopkins, Michael Caine, and Brian Cox.
Michael Caine would have been good.
I was thinking about it. Kind of glad Billy Connolly. I think it would have been fine, but
Bob Hoskins plays this role so well.
Yeah, and even like Anthony
it would have
Hopkins.
been different. It would have been. You would have got a good performance out of each of those people.
Yeah.
But it would have been different. Like Michael Caine.
It would have been weird.
Weird.
Kind of awesome.
But good.
Yeah.
I kind of would have liked to have seen him do that.
And Anthony Hopkins, I thought about, like, he's always personified as the evil guy and everything. The only one that I thought was Brian Cox would be kind of next in line. And it's funny because in X2, he plays Stryker.
Yeah.
And he kind of has the same
really
relationship with Wolverine.
Yep.
Kind of the monster he created. You'll never.
He would have been more in
world.
line, I think, with what Bob's performance
Exactly.
would have been. Yeah.
So I think Brian Cox, if anybody else, he probably would have done it justice. I couldn't find too much about this. I wanted to expand upon it further, but this film is considered a loose remake of Soldier. In that they are trained from birth, they don't have a choice, they're just trained killing machines.
A little bit.
They're
I can see the similarities. I wouldn't go so far as to say loose adaptation.
yeah.
That's a stretch.
They're dumped into a new world with strangers who take them in and shelter them, and then the bad guys come and he defends them.
Sure.
I think it's just the same premise. I don't know if I would consider
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but
Yeah.
I can see.
Like I said, like it was on there, and I tried looking for more of it, kind of maybe like the genesis of where this idea came from. Couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Huh.
So, but it's funny that you brought up Soldier.
It reminded me of it a little bit.
And then I think I have this because there was some stuff. I watched this on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
It was on YouTube. But I had, because I didn't want to come down here and look for it. It's over there somewhere. But I have the Ultimate Edition, and it includes more scenes. Danny talks to Sam and admits that he hurts people.
Okay.
Which is just more character scenes. There's an incomplete fight sequence at an indoor car park.
Cool.
And then there's this really awesome shot that I was looking for because I wanted to talk about it. In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we talked about that. We talked about the scene where the camera tracks the gun through the head and comes
through the back of the window. Yep.
There was a fucking awesome 3D shot inside a piano when somebody's playing, and then it goes all the way through and shows everything.
It cut.
And it's out of there. It's only in the Ultimate Edition.
Huh.
So I was kind of bummed.
Wonder why they cut it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds expensive.
It looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was looking for that because I want to talk about that with you because we talked about scenes like that before. It wasn't even in there.
Weird.
So that's Unleashed 2005, episode 62. We talked about a couple different films. What are you thinking for next week? We talked about Dick Tracy. We talked
let's
about
do Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'd be good. You got 3 hours?
Yeah.
It's a long movie.
Yeah.
So number 63 will be Dick Tracy. And then we talked about Fifth Element and what else? District B13.
Yep.
And the Ninja with Scott Adkins. That'll be a fun one.
And those are all good ones to.
We'll have to figure that out.
Ones to do.
Dick
Tracy, I want to do that one next.
We'll do Dick Tracy next. So close up Unleashed. We talked about a lot, and there's a lot that we didn't talk about. Just because there's a lot to this film, I think it's hard to break down in an hour.
Yes.
Is there anything that we didn't talk about you want to throw out there real quick? I feel like I've been talking a lot.
There's just a lot more like character nuance to Jet Li
that gets overlooked.
That's tough to talk about because he doesn't have a lot of dialogue, and it's a lot of just like visual moments in the film of his performance, like you were talking about. It's really good stuff.
Kurt Russell and Soldier.
Yes.
I
enjoyed that. I enjoyed all those moments from Jet Li.
Yeah, you're right. I wish we could.
I liked a lot of the supermarket stuff. I liked his growth as a character. Like, I liked. He fixes the pianos, and here's your half.
Oh, yeah. What do I do with it?
Whatever you want. Mm-hmm. And he goes to a supermarket, he's trying hats on.
Yeah.
I like all of that stuff.
It's very much like a child learning.
Yeah.
Self-discovery and learning the world and stuff. And the tragedy to that is he is 40 years old.
And he goes from wearing, like, shit clothing to, like,
damn,
he's got a really good wardrobe. Like,
you smell good. I don't know what you're wearing.
He figured out pretty quick, like, Jet Li's got good fashion.
He's like, I look good.
I liked his suits and shit.
Yeah, he did. He had some on. He had that jacket was pretty nice. And
good wardrobe.
Yeah. The thing that I kind of wanted to talk about real quick is we do see this character development and everything, and you assume it's over months because she's in school and we end all the way up at the recital.
She gets her braces off.
Yeah, so you assume that there's been a couple months span.
Yeah.
But between the car crash where he gets out and Bob gets hurt to the end, Bob Hoskins says, I look like shit, but I've been laid up for a month.
Yeah.
All this happened in a month? It's like,
give or take.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think it would have been, it's a long movie, but I think it would have been cool. Like we saw, I'm just nitpicking. We saw a lot of development, but I think it would have been cool to see even, a couple months more.
Sure.
Just because I think going from where he was to where he ended up so quickly is kind of a stretch. Especially when you've been conditioned for 35-ish years. I think it would take a lot longer to undo all that. But I'm just nitpicking.
Probably.
It doesn't change anything about the film.
How much would you want to spend time with Jet Li post-traumatic syndrome?
But
I get it.
We saw a lot, but I'm saying we didn't have to see all of it, but at least say it's been more than a month.
Sure.
Say that I've been laid up for 6 months or something. Or,
a year later.
Don't do that. I hate that. But no, this is I probably say this about every Jet Li film, but this is probably one of my favorite Jet Li films.
Sure.
So I think every time we
Except for that Mummy film. You did not say that then.
Every time we've done a Jet Li film, though, we rank them.
Oh, okay.
So I'll go quick, real fast. This has probably changed since last time because I think last time I put Black Mask on top, but I'll put Unleashed number 1.
Yeah.
Sure. Black Mask, The One, Kiss of the Dragon, The Mummy.
I would go with...
It's hard when you're trying to think about it.
I know. I would go with The One.
Ooh.
Unleashed.
What?
Black Mask. Kiss of the Dragon. Mummy.
Our bottom 3 are about the same.
Yeah.
That's it. The One, really.
I really like The One.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
Do I. So do I. That's why we talked about number 2. We did The One for our second episode. How perfect would it have been if we did that first? I'll go back and change it.
You should.
Yeah, so next week we'll do Dick Tracy. And
be glad they didn't try to franchise that and have a sequel called,
we talked about
The 2.
Yeah, The One, Part Deuce.
The One, Part 2. The One, Part 3.
The One, 2.
Yeah, The One, 2.
Oh, man. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's probably a lot more Jet Li to come in the future.
I want Jet Li and Donnie Yen in a film.
Didn't they do one together?
Did they?
Oh, maybe not.
Curse of the Black Mask?
What? I guess Donnie Yen's in Blade 2.
Yeah.
And what was the oh no, that's Jackie Chan. Forbidden Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Jet Li and Jackie Chan fought each other, and it was like, what?
Huh?
Been waiting all this time. Yeah, so next week we'll do Dick Tracy and freezing down here.
Yeah.
Anything you want to throw out there? Anything you're doing? Twitter bullshit?
If I can ever get over this cold, I'm going to get my podcast back up on YouTube and shit.
Oh yeah, just yeah, we'll get it up on the website.
I got a little more free time, so I can get working on that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter at Shut Up I Like This. The website, pantheonnetwork.com. Check it out. Find everything you need on there. There's the marketplace. Get some t-shirts. You can find the Indie Gamer magazine on there. I actually have a t-shirt right here, actually.
Ooh.
Indie Gamer.
Cool shirt.
You find that on there. You find cool little coffee cups. Everything's on there. Check out our audio that's not on YouTube.
Yeah.
First 20 or so audio episodes are up there. Soon your stuff will be up there.
Yeah.
And I say it every week. I've got a bunch of shit in my pipeline that I'm working on. Can do a little bit at a time, so it's all coming. And we'll see you next week, I guess.
Yeah. Watch some Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy, Warren Beatty, Madonna, Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman.
Good film.
Fucking stacked. So
Robert Stack.
Huh?
Never mind.
What'd you say?
Robert Stack.
Who's that?
Never mind.
Oh, okay. It went over my head. So, from the Pantheon Network Studios, this has been Shut Up I Like This, and we'll see you next week.
Next Monday.
Next Monday. Making Mondays a little bit more bearable.